And it says we're live. Thank goodness. For some reason, YouTube wanted to mess with me tonight. So, gonna have to start using a different platform, definitely. But here's the thing about going to other platforms. You're aware of this, Katrina. When you go to another platform, it's like they want you to give something in order for them to give back. So as far as like DLive goes, you have to have at least 200 followers before you can actually upload instead of going live. I prefer to upload first and then go live. So I don't know if you've actually checked that out, and I don't even really know what all that lemon and stuff means. I think that you can actually buy some tokens or whatever to get started. I prefer to not have to do that, but if I have to do that, I think I've got like 50 followers and maybe not even that many on there yet. So please go over to DLive and please follow me so I can remove myself from this platform that likes to censor so bad. You agree?
I haven't even checked out DLive yet, but I've heard several people talking about it. And when we get off here, I'm going to have to make an account there.
Yeah, definitely. Minds.com is another one too that I actually made an account on, got a few followers. KJ Osborne is the one that told me to go to that. So me and him follow each other on there. I don't even know if he's actually broadcasted on there or not. But here's the thing. We're being censored so bad, especially on this platform, that we have to watch our P's and Q's. And I don't like that. I don't like to be censored. I don't like to have to go to other chats that are live and be told what I can say and cannot say in the chat. That's total censorship. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm saying
now that if you demonetize your channel, then you can say more and get away with it. But then it's just messed up. You shouldn't have to do that.
But from experience, as far as being demonetized, here's the thing. YouTube, once you're demonetized, and I have chosen out of 6 years to only monetize 1 year out of the 6 by choice. Once they demonetized me on their end, saying reuse content, I cleaned up my channel, reapplied, still said reuse content. I have no idea what they're talking about, so I reapplied again last night. We will see. But being monetized, I'm not really worried about that. I just want my stuff to be promoted. Once you're monetized, your subs increase. They don't freeze. Like it shows the last sub that I received on my channel was just a month ago. I'm sorry, but that I get emails every day saying I have new subs. They don't promote your channel. Your view count goes down when you're demonetized. So part of being monetized is having your stuff get out there and be seen. That's all I'm worried about. And then I like to do my giveaways. I could care less about the money. I just want my stuff to get out there.
When you post, I don't even get a notification.
Really? See, yeah, that's another thing. I've went to certain channels that I'm subscribed to, and I don't get their notifications, and I've noticed they are not monetized, and that's why. Like I said, YouTube does not promote them if they're not monetized. It's all around the board. So,
yeah, I have to go to who I'm subscribed to see like probably 60% of the videos because I don't get notifications for. I guess it's just the channels I happen to subscribe to.
I've contacted a few people to maybe possibly join us tonight. It was kind of spur of the moment, and I didn't know how you would feel about that, so I wanted to talk to you about that. I did contact Vegan Mikey, and I also contacted who else was it? 2 different people asking them if they wanted to join. It might have just been Vegan Mikey.
Michael Dade,
yeah. I asked him on Twitter recently, yeah. So if you want to send him a link, if you want to DM him a link, you can send that to him. Because I think the more people, the better. And I know he's a follower of Christ. So when 2 or more are gathered, that's just it's just a good room,
Right. I don't have a problem talking to anybody really. Like,
right.
No, I'll be reasonable with anyone.
Okay. All right. That works. I don't know, for people that are just tuning in, me and you have done one other broadcast that was spur of the moment. It wasn't planned, but over the past couple months, me and you've gotten pretty close, and I consider you a sister in Christ. I love you to death. We think almost identical, and
Yeah,
that's kind of scary to me.
we do actually. Like we surprise. Yes, that is so true. Crack me up sometimes.
Like I'll be sending you something and you'll send me the exact same thing, or vice versa, before we get to, like, sometimes I don't even press send because that's what I was going to send you. So it's just, it happens so often anymore. But
A few
that,
times we're watching the same videos at the same time, don't even know it, and then we go to share it, and we're like, "I'm watching that too."
yeah, and me and my mom do that constantly. The synchronicity is so strong between me and my mom. It's, we finish each other's sentences. We'll be in the same chat room typing the exact same thing word for word, and we get onto each other all the time. It's just, it's craziness.
It's
Crazy.
awesome though. It's
It
so
is awesome. It is awesome. And I don't know, for people, what I was going to say, for people that are just tuning in, like I said, we've done a broadcast before. It was spur of the moment, but this one was planned. Did you want to maybe give the audience a little bit of your background?
Um, I used to be a talent manager and PR agent for the entertainment industry. I mainly worked with independent artists, though. I never lived in Hollywood or anything like that. And then I opened up a few years ago an organization called Rise and Stand, and it stands for Reach, Inspire, Support, Empower. And it's raising awareness and educating on human trafficking and sex trafficking, also bullying and domestic violence, animal abuse, just all acts of cruelty and ways that we can form plans to attack it, stop it, and
Mhm.
and just like get past that cruelty stage and everyone kind of unite together in Christ and help one another and love one another, stop the fighting and the bashing, you know, find some common ground and work for the greater good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And how would one become a part of that? Is that, can anybody just become a part of that, or do you have like a website or something to where people can actually follow, what you're doing, or is
It's
it more of a public movement?
Yes, it's riseandstand.net. Now we do have like actual like team members that run various programs and do their thing. But we have volunteers, and there's a place that they can go on the site and they can volunteer for things that's going on in their area, whether it's just going and passing out flyers or brochures that kind of educate and raise awareness of what's going on around the whole world. It's not just for the United States, it's like news from everywhere. Um, Also, you can sign up where you can share news right to our page, all of our social pages and stuff like that. Like, so if you come across a story maybe that we didn't catch and you want to get it out there, then you're free to share it. Anything that's educating the public, that's bringing awareness to what's going on so people can wake up, and realize that we have a huge problem right under our noses and that it's local to you. You just don't even know it because a lot of your local news isn't talking about it.
Right. And usually when the local news don't speak about it, that's how that that it's for real. A lot of the stuff is scripted that the local news put out there, and many people watch it, follow it, and think, "Oh, that's a true story." But a lot of the stuff, as you've seen, and a lot of people are really good, especially on YouTube, about putting it out there that, hey, all of this stuff is scripted. They get it a couple days in advance. All these major news outlets have to go by a script. Now, there are local stuff that does happen that they put out there, but it's almost like they only put out the juicy stuff, or the stuff that they know that's going to get their ratings. A lot of the things that should be talked about are not talked about. And that's where I think your purpose comes in, the riseandstand.net. You help make people aware of the stuff that they need to be aware of that's not put on the local news.
Right. For example, we had a teacher here, um, who was messing with students in class and outside of class and had been going on for a while. And the school allowed him to continue teaching despite complaints from students, complaints from parents. When he finally did get busted, it never made local news for like 4 months, and we kept pushing it out.
Oh, of course not. They're not going to broadcast that.
Right.
It's
But
going to
as
look
soon as,
bad.
they were backed against the corner, then it started coming out on local news. But it was like 4 or 5 months after the fact. So,
Mhm.
how many kids remained at that school around him, before it started coming out, and then they fire him.
What did the teacher do?
He was touching students. And this was in Arbondale, Florida,
Wow.
a Christian school, though. And he was touching students. And he had a prior record.
He had a prior record. Was that before he was employed, or
Before he was employed at the school.
he had a prior record? Wow. It's kind of like this. It makes you look at that. And then, even a felon can apply for Congress. How is that?
Yeah, I saw that. That blew my mind, because I didn't know that was even a thing, that you could even do that, until the one guy, I can't remember what his name was, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
What's that?
The guy who ran for Congress and stuff, and he had like a pretty long record. And
didn't he have a weird name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
I know who you're talking about. Somebody in the chat might be able to.
He was a younger guy.
Yeah. It's sick is what it is. It's just sick how they get past these. But what we really wanted to talk about tonight is Isaac Kappy. Now, I think me and you, this struck a nerve with me and you, not only because we followed Kappy at the beginning, but we also stopped following Kappy like in the middle. So from what I've gathered from where we've spoken, we kind of fell out of the whole Kappy thing, the Cube movement. The whole Cube movement, in my opinion, is one big LARP. I don't agree with it. For somebody to say trust Sessions, that was totally off the wall. I was like, really? Come on now. It was very, very interesting at first. It kind of had you on your, it held you by your coattail, like what's he going to post next? And then once Tracy Beans got all of that equipment endorsed from her channel for just simply reading Q posts, and then she goes to meet President Trump, not meet him, but I think he was at some sort of rally walking down the steps in a hotel room. They all like lunged at him and was like, "We are Q, we are Q." And she said she specifically didn't say it, but it was the woman beside her that said it, but yet they were all in the same crowd of people. And she acted like she didn't know that person that was standing beside her. But in all reality, I think she did. They were all there together. She was endorsing Q. So that video, I put that up trying to point that out about Q, and yet it disappeared from my channel and my computer. Could not find it anywhere.
I've never seen it. Like I told you before, though, I never really followed the whole Q thing that much, because like when I first started doing this stuff and, putting what I knew and the stories that I heard and things I heard from working within the entertainment industry and putting it out there, I got attacked. Like my family got attacked, and they went after my children and stuff. And a lot of the people who did that were all about the Q thing. So that kind of scared me, and I was like, I don't know. And still a lot of the people who are like big on the Q thing and they follow it and they've changed their screen names to it and stuff are some of those people who were doing the attacking on not just me, but other people as well, in the truth community and stuff. So I kind of, I didn't know, but I thought maybe that the Q thing was kind of started by this group that just wanted to be like anonymous or something.
Mm-hmm.
I never expected it to get as big as it did. So then that kind of started making me question it, and, that maybe it was a legit thing. But I don't know. I'm so untrusting after that experience and what had happened that I just kind of, I don't want to follow any crowd. I'm not going to be a sheep of anything,
Right. Yeah, you kind of have to really use your discernment to, let it choose who you follow and who you listen to. And, you know, we all make mistakes. We all fall into something, you know, start researching it and then find out. It's like all these people say, oh, well, you know, that's a lark from the start. I'm sorry, I'm going to research something first before I automatically call it fake. There's so many people out here that automatically call this fake, 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 just because it is on the news or because, you know, it involves a celebrity or something like that. But with this Cappy thing, I will tell you, for someone to say they're not suicidal in their last broadcast more than once, and basically say he's in danger, other people are in danger, and then 2 days later, 3 days later, he's dead. I'm sorry, but I don't think he committed suicide. And here's the latest updates. Supposedly, one of the gas station workers was contacted by another YouTuber. I'm not going to mention the name of the channel, but I don't know what to think about that. I don't know if you all have heard about it, but she basically said there was a homeless guy that looked a lot like Cappy, but looked a little older, had his hair in a ponytail, and would always like go and sit on that bridge and had a dog with him. When she described the dog, she said that the dog looked like a mutt. And then later on in the conversation, for some reason, it was asked what the dog looked like again, why that was brought up again. It was almost like she was being told what to say. Oh, you messed up on that. Let's repeat the question and have you answer it the correct way to match the agenda, which when she was asked again what the dog looked like, oh, it's a small brown and white Pomeranian. Mm-hmm. Well, lo and behold, the other dog that has not been shown on camera that much, like the little Dachshund, where Cappy was staying, is a black and white Pomeranian. Right. As far as I know, Cappy didn't wear a backpack. I don't know if you know anything about that, but this homeless guy supposedly wore a backpack everywhere he went and had the leash connected to the backpack and would go sit on that bridge and had his hair in a ponytail. Well, Cappy's hair really wasn't long enough to be put into a ponytail.
No. Mm-mm. But she did say that the guy's hair was longer because he said he sent her 2 photos of Cappy.
Mm-hmm.
One, she was like, no, that's not him. The second one, she was like, okay, yeah, that is him. And then she said, but the hair was longer. He looks a little older and, of course, dirtier because it was supposed to be like a homeless guy. So, but I thought that was weird because the first time she sees a picture, she's like, no, that's not him. And then the second time, which was like, 5-10 minutes later or something, all of a sudden, yeah, that's him. But then she makes this comment where she says, I would like to see a more recent one. Like she thought the photo was like an older one of him or something, but it happened to be the photo, one of the last ones he took.
Sorry, I was muted. I had a train. But around that same time that she was asked about the dog again is when the picture was sent. So obviously somebody was telling her what to say and how to say it. I get a bad vibe from that guy. It's almost like he came from out of nowhere. Now, he's had his channel since when? 2015? Mm-hmm. At about 30,000 subs, a little under. And also about a month ago, he uploaded a video to the effect of Route 66, Ooh. Which I found really, really odd. Whether he still has that video up or not, I don't know the contents of that video. I didn't watch it, but I seen the thumbnail. There's that train again. Hold on just a second. Okay. But and plus he initiated contact with, now I don't know if he initiated, I'll take that back. He was on his video and he was on a phone call or had Thomas Schoenberger on the phone with him. Now, who initiated that contact, I'm not sure, but this guy Thomas a year ago supposedly had a prophecy and sent it to Cappy via email telling him that he would have car trouble and that he would basically meet his demise with a fall.
Wait, I thought Thomas sent that to DeFango.
He sent it to both DeFango and Cappy.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. And so if you have a prophecy, why would you send it to two different people?
Yeah, see, this is the first time I'm hearing that he sent it to Cappy as well. I thought he only sent it to DeFango, and then when it ended up happening to Cappy, he was all like, "Wow, I had that prophecy, yes, but that was of DeFango," but it ended up happening to Cappy. But I didn't know that he sent it to both of them. That's really creepy.
Mm-hmm. And, I reached out to DeFango, and he hasn't emailed me back, or I tweeted, I said, here, DM me, because I thought maybe he would want to join. Now, me and DeFango have had our ups and downs, throughout the years and stuff, and I don't always agree with everything he says. He did state that he contacted Cappy the day that he died, but Cappy didn't answer. And, maybe he saw his last Periscope. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I haven't spoke to him. But supposedly he was okay with Cappy. Now, Thomas, on the other hand, says that DeFango was the one that was attacking Cappy. DeFango is the one that's saying Thomas was the one that was cyber bullying and stalking Cappy. So it's kind of like a he said, she said. Who do we believe here? Why are they both fighting over, oh, no, you did this. No, you did this. Is it all one big thing to where they're into it? I don't know. I don't know what to think. But here's the thing. Hopefully, is his name Richard or Rick?
Robert?
Deplorable Robert. I'm sorry. Yes. Robert supposedly got information today that actually about 30 minutes ago, stating that somebody found Cappy's last Instagram video where he was in the car.
Yes, I saw that.
While he was in
I really hope that's true.
Yeah, I hope it is true. All we've received is screenshots. We can't verify those screenshots, but however, the comments in the screenshots say, hey, Jesus forgives, a lot like his last Periscope.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the context of that, it does look like they would be saying that, and he would be talking exactly the same way as he did in his last Periscope, or they saw his last Periscope, and that's why they were saying those things to him in the chat. Now, he has on, like in your picture, the Levi's jacket with the wool collar or the cotton collar, okay? In the car, he has on that jacket. Now, Flower Girl, aka Kayla, put up that video 4 or 5 days after he died, showing the jacket in the closet. Okay.
Right.
So how did she get that jacket? How was the jacket that he had on in the car back in the closet?
That's one of the big questions. And I've searched Twitter for 3 days and other places for people who said that they saw that last Instagram video and what they've said about. And everyone that says that they saw that video says that Cappy was pretty much talking about the same thing that he was on Periscope. So, but then I've heard some people say that he was driving and that he showed that there was nobody with him in the car. And then I've heard other people say, no, he was in the passenger seat and somebody else was driving, but he wouldn't show the person. So they don't know who it is. So I've heard like 2 different stories on that. But everybody pretty much agrees that he was saying that he was going to see his mom. He wanted to hug his mom for some reason, and that he was emotional. And he was saying a lot of the same things he said in the Periscope, and people were trying to, send him love and stuff like that. So everyone seems to be like on the same page about that. And if that's the truth, which it seems to be, then how did she get that jacket just days after his supposed passing?
Exactly. And then the second video that she put out. Now, I'm not sure where she put it out, if it was on YouTube or if it was on Periscope, but she put out stating, his glasses were stolen. I'd like to find out who stole those glasses and get those back. Okay. We know that Cappy took those glasses everywhere. Now, in that Instagram video, he had on dark glasses. So he might not have had those glasses on him, but with her stating that about the glasses, and then in the third video where her and Michelle are talking on the floor promoting the parasite medication, spontaneously, what happens? The glasses show up and it's never mentioned. And, I wish I was there watching it live, because I would have been like, where'd those pop up? How did you get those glasses back? Because they had not met supposedly with the family yet at that time. The family were supposed to come that following Tuesday.
Right. But did the family end up coming on a Friday, right?
That's what you told me. So if you want to go into that, you can, go into that.
That's what I have written down in my notes. So I don't know where I got that from. Like, I've been watching like a lot of things that Shark Belly Kelly post, because supposedly she's in contact with the family.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that must be where I got it from, but I don't know. There's been so much, and I'm getting it from all over, and I just take notes of everything that I find. So I need to start writing where I got the information from.
Okay. So from what your notes state, the family actually showed up there on Friday, which was, hold on. So it's Sunday today. So on the 24th, this past Friday, 2 days ago, the family met with Michelle, and I guess Kayla was there.
And I think it was Cappy's brother, David, and then Cappy's father.
Okay. And go from there.
And supposedly there was a disagreement with the neighbor and the roommate with the family about what stuff that they were going to give the family and what stuff they thought they were able to keep, because Cappy supposedly told them they could have it. So, I mean, I don't know any of this for sure. This is just what I've gathered from Michelle, the white-haired lady's post, in the comments under her post, and then what other people who supposedly talked to the family have said as well, that there was an argument, that things didn't go down well, but I guess in the end it turned out okay, from what I gather.
It turned out okay. I heard they didn't get anything.
This is just today in Michelle's, one of her posts that she made, her little Sunday post, there were people that were commenting, you didn't even let his family have his stuff. And then she said, I let them have everything that wasn't given to me. And then some people were
the computer, supposedly what she says is Cappy gave her the computer. But wait a minute. Kayla said in the first broadcast, he gave her the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing they didn't get the computer, which, if you ask me, should be turned over to the authorities.
Right. I mean, there should still be an investigation going on. Like, there's no reason they should have deemed it a suicide so fast. And so everything, his phone, the iPad that she says that he had with him, his computer, wiped or not, all of that should, the cops should get, you would think.
And has anything been stated about the police showing up at the apartment? Or the house, I'm sorry.
I don't know about the police showing up there, but his ex-girlfriend said that they showed up at her place.
And she was obviously questioned. Do you know any details about that?
I'm not sure if she gave any details of what they were questioning her about.
Well, obviously, there's a new investigation if the police are going to his ex-girlfriends after the fact of them stating it was suicide and closing the case. Now, I don't know if they closed the case. I think they just stated suicide, which they shouldn't have done.
Like instantly, the same day, hours, right?
What'd you say, honey?
Like the same day, just hours after it supposedly happened, they were already stating suicide. And on the call, they're already saying a suicide.
Well, just like Chris Cornell, I found it very suspicious. I don't know if you read the autopsy or the police report on Chris Cornell. They stated attempted suicide. The first guy that found Chris Cornell stated that Cornell was on the ground. Yet the police report stated that EMS and EMT stated they had to get him down.
Right.
So very, very conflicting reports as far as that goes. But they did state attempted suicide. Now maybe that's protocol. Maybe they have to actually say attempted suicide before they get there because, they don't know if they can revive him or not. But this right here, I found it very odd. You've got somebody sitting on a bridge and then jumps. But then he forced himself off, in quotes, forced himself off the bridge. Yet there was no traffic control done whatsoever. And supposedly he had a piece of cardboard long enough to fit over somebody that's 6 foot and no traffic control. And then a truck ends up running over, finishing the job.
Bright Eyes said, how do you force yourself off a bridge? I think what they're trying to say is that those 2 teens, the only witnesses, tried to stop him and he forced himself past them and off the bridge. That's the narrative.
But then the girl that works at the gas station stated she didn't say anything about 2 teens being with him, that he was just sitting there and then jumped, right?
Right. She said she didn't hear about the teen thing until the news came out.
There's got to be somebody out there somewhere. And later on here in the broadcast, I'm going to open up the phones. So there's got to be somebody somewhere that witnessed something. Now, it was 7:00 in the morning. That's a very desolate place. The teenagers, the only thing I can think of, if that's true, mind you, is that they were probably on their way to school. It was a Monday morning. Now, I'm not sure if school's even still in session at that area. That's one thing I wanted to look into. But, who's to say they were just traveling on vacation? I don't know. But there are people that are close to the neighbor and close to the, Michelle, which is the house owner, that can actually look like teenagers. And Kayla's brother is a teenager, correct?
He's 19, maybe 20, I think, but he looks like he's 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be easy for them to say, if you're 21, 22 years old and the cops begin to question you and you say, I'm 15, I have no ID on me.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do if you look young and you have no ID on you?
Mm-hmm. Well, too, another thing is, teenagers do not have to reveal their identity,
Right. And there's a lot of people that are saying that maybe the reason that they want to say that the 2 witnesses were teenagers is so they don't have to put anybody's identity out there. It's just another thing to cover up, another secret.
And I find it really interesting that Kayla, during her first initial Periscope or YouTube Live, whatever she did it 2 times before she did the long one. And she said the exact same things the first 2 broadcasts. She said that he was egotistical, narcissistic Hollywood. Mm-hmm. It's like she was reading from a freaking script in both broadcasts. And then the third said it again. And she also mentioned, they were teenagers. They don't have to reveal their identity. Almost like she knew all about it.
Like she had it all figured out, right?
She had it all figured out. And what about her Instagram post?
Yeah, every time she does that, I think of that Instagram post where she says the plan is all in motion. It's all working out.
Yeah, the feeling that you get when everything goes according to plan.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had a screenshot of that, and that's one of the ones that I wasn't able to pull up on my computer. There's 3 things that I copied, like I always do. I snipped it copied, pasted, saved it to my computer. And for some reason, my computer did not recognize that format. Don't ask me why. One of them was labeled Isaac Cappy Call. One of them was labeled Isaac Cappy transaction.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was like call to. And they had to do with flower power. So I'm not sure why it wouldn't pull those up. It's just very, very odd. I now have an external hard drive, thank goodness, that I bought from my brother. So I'm going to start putting stuff on there if I need it.
Okay. Well, if you need another copy, I can send it to you later. I've got everything in a file.
Okay, cool. The guest tonight, Rise Up, is Katrina McCaffrey. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay. She's I consider her a very good friend of mine. She's a sister in Christ, and we both think a lot alike about a lot of things. And we've talked before, but this whole Cappy thing is we've really been researching together, helping each other find stuff. And I mean, this girl's on top of it, man. Like, she has sent me so much stuff, and she's like looking at the same stuff that I'm looking at the same time. It's crazy. So,
and like you said, I wasn't a big follower of Cappy's. I did at the beginning because, here's a new person coming out. They're from the industry, and they learn stuff and they want everybody to know. And I thought, wow, that's similar to me, So, but then just the way that things ended up going. And then also, it's hard for me to watch someone who just constantly curses or uses God's name in vain. I just can't. It's such a turnoff for me, So I just quit watching him and then there was allegations about him coming out and stuff. And I was just like, okay. And I kind of forgot about him, honestly, until this happened. And then I was like, I don't care if he was a bad guy or not. Really,
I don't think those allegations were correct. I honestly do not think those allegations were correct. People were trying to come out and say he was a pedophile for researching it and trying to call out the pedophiles.
That always happens, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, that happened with me too. I mean, they did that. They said I was selling my children online every time I posted a picture on my Instagram of one of my kids and said, he's adorable, I love my baby, or something. Oh, she's selling a child online. I mean, it was ridiculous, all because I was speaking out,
Right.
So,
yeah, I've stopped posting pictures of my children as much as I can. I deleted my Facebook account, no longer have that, because another YouTuber decided to post my information when I thought that my account was private. Well, lo and behold, she's like, doesn't look like your account is as private as it needs or as you thought. Posted my name, my kids, not their names, but their pictures, and then goes and looks at my husband's information and spreads that. And then somebody decided on YouTube to make an account in both our names together. So that took me sending Google my license to get that taken down. So fun, the things that we have to deal with.
Right. I mean, it sucks because I have family who lives, all over, and they don't get to see the kids. They don't get to see family a lot. And some of them are, up there in age. So that's a good way to post videos of the kids singing at church or, and that's what I do on my YouTube channel. It's mainly for my family, for my friends that live everywhere, to see graduation at school, them singing a special at church, stuff like that. And I don't feel like I should have to take all that stuff down and make it where my friends and my family don't get to see these moments in my kids' life and stuff, because some people out there want to be this way because I'm speaking out about human trafficking and SRA and stuff like that, trying to raise awareness.
Right.
So instead, I just, my house is loaded up with some guns. Come on.
Mine is too. I'm packing as we speak. I am always packing a gun, no matter where I go, no matter where I am.
Exactly.
They're trying so hard to take that Second Amendment away from us. You did hear about the medical marijuana thing, right?
What thing about
those that have a medical marijuana card? They are now taking their guns from them.
No, I did not hear that.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Sure enough. I knew there was something behind that. I knew that there would be, it would be too good to be true. Because when you've got people like myself that deal with chronic pain daily and don't want to have to be on pharmaceuticals, that would be a very, very good alternative. There's no side effects other than the fact it does take away the pain. And then, it mellows you. Somebody that has medical marijuana is not going to go on a freaking shooting rampage. They're going to have the pain taken away, and they're going to be sleepy and hungry.
Right. Like I told you, I have lupus SLE,
Right.
and I will not do pharmaceuticals. I think all that stuff is witchcraft. I think they're trying to give you stuff to
Mhm.
mess with your mind, and I'm not for it. But I do use CBD oil.
Right.
If I'm told that I can't have my guns because I'm taking CBD oil, they're going to have to come take them from me.
Well, CBD oil does not, it has the derivatives, the alkaloids from the cannabis plant. It's basically the male plant, which does not entice THC. So, there's no side effects whatsoever from CBD. It has no THC. You have no euphoria, no high or nothing. Now, it might make you sleepy.
Yeah, it mellows.
For people that don't know, once you start taking CBD oil, it takes about a month for you to start noticing the effects. It did with me anyways.
Right. Yeah, me too.
But I can't afford to take it every month. So my mom's been helping me out with that. So thank goodness for my mom. But yeah, I've noticed a big difference. And then as far as disability, here people that are on disability, and if you automatically stop taking your medicine, then they're going to look at that. Well, then if you're not taking medicine, then you're not hurting. So then you don't need disability. It's a catch-22.
Right.
And there's always something. So it
Right.
sucks.
This year they took my husband's disability, which he was on disability for 2 years because he has uncontrolled seizures. He used to, part of Rise and Stand, we had a spot for people who had these type of seizures on there. And it was called Shaken Not Stirred. And we had just giving help to people on how they can wean off of the medications that they're on, and diet and use different types of vitamins and stuff to stop the seizures. We were doing that for a while. Well, I guess the disability found out about our forum and that he wasn't taking the medications. So they made him do a full blood panel test, saw that he wasn't on all the medications, and took his disability away.
Are you kidding me?
This just happened in April. And then my mom lost her disability just last month, and she was on disability because she's had 3 back surgeries, like full back surgeries. And but she wasn't 100% disabled. She didn't get the full disability. She got just the Medicare part and stuff, and she was able to work a secretary job with her. But they took that away from her too because she won't take the pain medication that they prescribed, and she's using the oil instead.
Wow. See, that's exactly what I said. And I hadn't even talked to you about this. I had no idea. See, exactly what I just said. They will take away the disability if you're not on the medications, because Big Pharma wants you to take that medicine. They've got to have their money. And then they turn it around on people. Oh, well, if you're on this medication, then you're not going to be able to possess a firearm because you're putting other people at risk, even if you don't even have a record.
What about alcoholics? What about people who drink all the time? Now, those people, I have rednecks in my family. I know what they're like around guns and alcohol.
My thing is if you're drinking alcohol, put the guns up, don't have them anywhere in sight.
Amen, sister. But I'm just saying, why is that legal?
Exactly. Yeah, we're kind of getting off topic here a little bit, but I mean, stuff like this needs to be spoken about.
It really does.
And, talking about this stuff automatically is no monetization. So I'll probably make this age restricted since I just reapplied for monetization. If a video is age restricted, it's not able to be monetized. So the ones that I know that I don't want monetized, I'm just going to put age restriction on so that they won't even look at that because they know they can't monetize that. So, but anyways, so what I wanted to talk about as far as Cappy goes, hopefully Robert can get that upload of that Instagram. Now, Kayla had his computer. Kayla also accessed Isaac Cappy's bank records. Now, she tried to make it look like she was helping, but she must think that people are stupid or something, because on the records, and I'm going to show that on screen right now. Hold on just a second. I think, let me make sure I have it up real quick. But what I'm going to show you all is the transactions. And she tried to confuse people with this date, with the timeline, and why she was doing that. Why would somebody do that? Oh, my bad, she said. I had the date wrong. Well, then you're going to need to re-show it and put the correct dates.
Mm-hmm.
I've got it open up in a new tab. So, not prepared, guys. I did have everything prepared until I had some trolls come in, and then my broadcast was messed up, and
I don't even know why Kayla and Michelle even made videos, because like, if they weren't going to get their story straight and they weren't going to be honest, do they really think that coming on and just being cutesy and sounding somewhat sweet and all that was going to make everybody feel sorry for them and not question what they were doing? Like, they putting themselves out there the way that they did. I don't know, crazy, doesn't make any sense to me. And then Kayla, she's shut everything down. She's pretty much went dark. But Michelle, she just continues to leave everything public for everyone to see. Like, she's like, I have nothing to hide, but yet she makes these crazy posts where she's showing her hatred for Cappy.
And how many times did she say that he was narcissist, but he was a good guy? All in
He's
the same.
a demon.
Right.
That's the other thing. She calls him a demon and a narcissist, like, in every post.
Right. Like, are you kidding me? That makes no sense. You can't be a great guy and a great friend. I'm going to miss you to death. And then she also made the statement, oh, but wait, you can't cry over spilt milk, can you?
I know. I mean, horrible. My mouth was like dropped open. I could not believe that she said that. Like, she's sitting here saying that he is a son to her. She became his adopted mother, and that she thought of him like a son, and that she taught him so much, and they had all these like spiritual conversations, and all of this. And then soon after that, she's like hating on him, and he left cigarette butts in her front yard, and his hair is clogged in her drain, and she spent 2 hours trying to get it out, and this is what he did to her. Like, who does that? Like, if you really felt like he was a son and you were a mother to him, like you keep trying to make us believe, then now that he's dead, you wouldn't say any of that stuff. You would only say the good things about him, the things that you remembered and that you loved about him, not everything you hate about him. And that's the only thing she knows to talk about.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she pulled up his bank records, and she said, and the way I did that was, you know how Google saves your passwords? Well, she obviously knew where he banked. So she knew where to go. And that's illegal. This was after he died. And I don't know who blacked this out. I'm thinking this was blacked out after the fact from this YouTuber that was doing this video. But look, she put Sunday on this day. Well, this was Monday. And then, she has Sunday here, Saturday here, but she had the dates wrong. And why was this right here blacked out? Who is this YouTuber to black out this? And why was there a purchase made after the fact? Because I can't say after the fact because I don't know what order this is in. Right here it says 5/14 because that's when it posted to the account. The purchase was made on 5/13, which was Monday, posted on Tuesday. But why this stuff's blacked out, I don't know. Do you have the original?
Yeah, I do somewhere. I'll have to go through the files, but I do have it before it was all blacked out. But Michelle kept getting the dates wrong too. Like, she said that she saw Cappy leave there with his stuff on Sunday, and that's not possible. But she said Sunday like 3 times. So they
Hmm.
kept getting the dates mixed up.
And then Kayla said that she saw Cappy on Thursday running down the street. Oh, who's that crazy guy? Oh, it's just Cappy.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. Honestly, if you ask me, I think she actually lives there too. And supposedly she has a child. She obviously is over there a lot. I don't ever hear a child with her. I mean, I can't say what's going on in her life, and she has a dude, where's this dude that she talks about? I don't know. And her brother is a profound Satanist, like worships the devil.
He doesn't even try to hide it at all.
No, at all.
Temple of Satan. Yeah.
And isn't his name Cain?
Yeah, Kayne O'Connor.
Yeah. So here's the correct dates. Obviously, they didn't. They must think we're stupid, but the correct dates: 5/11 California home area, then 5/12, which would have been Sunday, Kingsman, Arizona, 5/12 Williams, Arizona, and then Belmont, Arizona on 5/13. And then Michelle mentioned getting her sheets back. Don't you find that kind of odd? Okay.
I wanted to know how she got them back.
Well,
from his brother and father, maybe?
But she hadn't met with them yet, right? When did she make that post on the sheets?
Today, Sunday morning.
Okay. If you're going to go on a mission and you're going to commit suicide, why do you even bother taking sheets with you? You pay $73 to stay at a hotel. Why would you take sheets with you for one? Why would you take anything with you for that? I mean, she was so concerned about getting those sheets back. How did the jacket get back in the closet? He was wearing it that day. I mean,
notice that Kayla, she said that he left and he took nothing. He told her that they could have everything. He wasn't taking anything. That's what she said. And then when they did the video together, Kayla and Michelle, Kayla kept looking at Michelle like, oh my gosh, you're messing up the storyline, like several times. And then apparently she continues to mess up the storyline because now she's coming out with the fact that he stole her sheets and stuff. But, supposedly he took nothing with him.
I want to know. Okay, so they spoke supposedly to one of was it the hotel guy or the gas station guy?
The first call was, and Michael Dade did with
Michael Dade, yes.
The hotel guy, the guy who checked him in.
The actual guy that checked him in, which he said he said he checked in a little after midnight. Then he pulled up his books and said it was actually 1:30 a.m. When he checked in. And then he seen him again a little before 7 a.m. was it? And he was like tweaking, like shaking his head and stuff. Now, mind you, there was obviously a Cappy lookalike around that area. And that woman, supposedly, there's a Cappy lookalike. And that woman said that the homeless guy was living in behind the pilot. Now, did she mean the hotel room or just like in a tent in the grass somewhere?
Behind the gas station that is close to the Days Inn.
Okay. Now, he had a flat tire. I've gotten conflicting stories that the flat tire was actually located at the Days Inn or actually located on the road before you get to the Days Inn, but he was able to check in, so we know he actually checked in. What was he doing even on the bridge? They said that homeless guy went to the bridge and sat there on the bridge a lot. Right. Was it even really Cappy that jumped?
I think what they were trying to say, the reason that Cappy would have walked over the bridge is because he was going to that truck stop place that had a mechanic there that could help fix his car. that was supposedly at the Days Inn broke down with the bad tire, even though the Days Inn guy said that Cappy said he had no car at all with him, and he never saw a broke down car in the Days Inn parking lot.
Mate, okay. Repeat yourself on that.
I went too fast. Okay, so they're trying to say that Cappy's car was at the Days Inn parking lot with a bad tire, and that he left that morning at approximately 7-Eleven, the receptionist guy said, and would have been walking across the bridge to get to the truck stop that's on the other side that has a mechanic that could, possibly fix the car, like tow it, I guess, over there and then fix it for him. And that's why he would have been going across the bridge.
What was that place called?
Starts with a W. Man. Michael Day just said it earlier because he contacted them.
And what did they say?
He sent them an email on their website asking them to reply back to him about if they are the ones who went and got the car and all that. So he hasn't heard back yet. When we started this live, he still hadn't heard back yet.
Okay.
But yeah, that phone call with the convenience store lady, she said that the homeless guy that had been coming in there for 3 weeks, I think she said, would go and sit by the bridge, under the bridge, not the same spot where Cappy supposedly jumped, but in that area.
Not in that area. What do you mean?
No, in the area of, at that bridge, he would sit on it, he would sit under it, stuff like that, but not like at the area where Cappy supposedly jumped. I don't know why she made that a point.
If you're going to jump off a bridge, why would you be trying to go get your car fixed? Why would you take sheets with you? Why would you take your iPad with you? Why would you make a video on Instagram that was spontaneously deleted saying that you're not suicidal? Why did you have to keep reiterating the fact that you're not suicidal? People that are suicidal that are going to do it, don't typically talk about it.
That's why a lot of people were trying to figure out if he got to see his mom first or not on Mother's Day.
He did not. Yeah, I heard he did not.
Right. They were trying to figure out because he seemed, by what everybody's saying, who's got to see that Instagram video that got deleted, that he seemed like he was okay. He wasn't as down as he had been in the Periscope, even though he was still talking about a lot of those things. And he just wanted to go see his mom, and for Mother's Day and stuff. And he was saying then he wasn't suicidal. So after this happened, people were trying to figure out, did he get to see his mom yet? Because maybe it didn't go well with his mom, and on his way back or something, he did, committed suicide. But no, he never even got there to see her. So he was on a mission. It just doesn't make any sense at all. Like,
none of it adds up.
No.
The guy that was tweaking and shaking his head really weird, I'm thinking it's the supposed Cappy lookalike. If there is a Cappy lookalike, I don't know. They did say that the guy that fell onto the pavement had a ponytail. I don't see Cappy wearing a ponytail.
Now, I listened to that a few times, and I thought it was possible they were saying that the guy that was driving the truck had a ponytail. Like, they were not very specific, but they were the last person they were talking about was the truck driver, and then the description comes through. So yeah, I was thinking that maybe they might have been describing the truck driver as somebody who had a ponytail. And speaking of a truck driver, I saw that someone was tweeting that the cops were looking for that truck driver or a truck driver that fit that description of the homeless man.
Do what now? They were looking for the truck driver that fit the description of the homeless man?
Yeah.
The same truck driver that hit him?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering, because I don't know if they were trying to say that the truck driver that was missing that resembled this homeless man was also the truck driver that hit Cappy. It was confusing. Like, I was reading on it right when it came time for us to do this live. So I want to look into that later and find out what that was all about. But I guess there's a truck driver that kind of fits that description of that homeless person who's missing right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kayla mentioned in her first video that, well, Isaac took his card, and then she was basically trying to allude to the fact that her and Michelle thought that maybe Cappy took one of her credit cards. Did you hear that part?
Yes.
Maybe he stole from them. I know the guy didn't pay rent and stuff, and she was probably the type of person to say, oh, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. But if you're going to gripe about somebody not paying rent for almost a full year, why would you allow them to pay $1,000 on gold stocks and then join in on the fun and also pay $1,000 in gold stocks and then brag about your stocks, your shares going up? It makes no sense to me whatsoever, this whole situation. She reached out to Cappy right after, I think it was, 27, 28, 29, 30, 5 days after he was on Lift the Veil YouTube channel is when she reached out to him on Twitter. She actually created a Twitter account, right, to contact Cappy.
Right. She probably asked him to come and stay with her and that she would help him out and everything rent free.
Mm-hmm.
There was probably never anything set up for him to even pay rent. She just wanted him there to help him. That was her contribution to his cause, was to give him a place to stay, But yeah, Kayla brought that up too, that, he was here for almost a year and he never made a payment.
Never lifted a finger.
Yeah, she said, I hope he didn't do anything to put us in danger. Like, she said
Right.
that a few times.
Uh-huh.
Then supposedly he might have taken one of their cards. Like, anything that they could throw at him, they were trying to throw at him.
Uh-huh. But, according to their plan, things are not working accordingly at all. Something is backfiring. She shouldn't have shown the jacket in the closet. After the fact, okay, she had his computer. She probably is the one that deleted that Instagram video when she realized, oh my gosh, he's got the jacket on in the video.
Right. And then so she goes in and deletes the stuff. I'm thinking, just a speculation. I hate to say that that's what happened because, I don't know. But
right.
I speculate he probably was the one because they slipped up and made that mistake of showing the jacket in the closet.
Well, she was on his computer during that Periscope or that video or whatever. She already had his bank information printed out, which is illegal, by the way, Kayla. You can't go in just because it was his computer. You're accessing his financials, which, if he is truly deceased, I hate to speculate, but now that we've heard what we've heard, that there is a homeless lookalike that also sat on a bridge. Okay. You can't help but speculate, but here's the thing. She got into his computer, printed out his bank statements. Why? It wasn't to help Cappy. It was to help make it look like she was wanting to help him when she was, in fact, probably allegedly involved in all of this. And then mention the glasses being stolen, and then they show up. None of this adds up. It's all looking negative on Michelle and Kayla.
If she was an honest person, then she would have called the cops right away and said, I don't think he committed suicide, or maybe he did commit suicide, but let's find out why. His family's going to want to know. I have his computer. I have some of his items. Come here and get everything. I'm willing to work with you until we figure this out. That's what she would, not jump on Periscope and go through all of his stuff and,
try to cover her tracks.
Yeah, cover her tracks and tell a bunch of lies. I I guess that maybe they don't want to get cops involved because of the drugs and stuff that they have around here. She talks about,
Mhm.
marijuana. She talks about giving him shrooms, things like that. So, maybe they didn't want cops coming around, but oh well, get rid of the junk for now
Mhm.
because your
Mhm.
friend is dead and you have evidence in front of you that you could give to the police.
Mhm. And like I was saying, if he is truly deceased, that bank account is going to be froze at least 6 months or more. So, unless it's a joint account, which I don't know, maybe they're on that account too, or maybe Michelle's on that same account. I don't know. I would think not, because if that was a joint account with Michelle, then she could go and withdraw the money as she wished for the rent. So I'm thinking it was just in Cappy's name.
When I first started hearing that there was a struggle between her and the family when it comes to giving his stuff to the family, I thought maybe, I just wondered if she wanted to keep the stuff to sell it because, he owed this rent money or something, and that was her way of getting, like, I let him live here for a year, I deserve something. I just wondered if it's
Uh-huh.
just more speculation because, your mind just goes crazy with this stuff because it's just so nuts and you're trying to make it all make sense, but it just doesn't.
Okay, so Kirk71 in the chat says, Michelle says she bought the glasses on Amazon. I did hear her say that. She met him in August. So why was he wearing the glasses at the start of July?
That's true because people posted screenshots of videos where he's wearing the glasses in July. So it's just more of her, like, I don't know, maybe she doesn't care about being factual, so she just guesstimates things and makes herself look like a liar, or she's just a flat out liar.
Well, we see the initial contact August 31st, 2018, where she contacts him. He obviously had not met her yet, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Because she had no way of, getting a hold of him instead of trying to do it that way. So she didn't know him. He didn't know her.
And she created that Twitter account just to contact Cappy. She didn't have a Twitter account before then.
Mm-mm.
And that other channel that we were speaking of also showed up on Lift the Veil. A lot of this is pointing to a lot of the same characters, and it's not looking good.
A lot of the same characters is the reason why I stayed out of it all in the first place. But I'm drawn in now, like I said, just because if if Cappy was legit and he was honest and he, really was trying to just get the message out there, and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that that's the case, then he was murdered for that, and we should all be concerned. Like all of us that are trying to get the truth out there, and like me with my organization and stuff, like, are they going to come and suicide me?
Right.
And how many times is this going to happen before we all get together and, you know, cause a scene to where they know that we're onto them and it stops?
Mm-hmm. Now I've heard mention of nails in tires. Is that a known thing if somebody's wanting to take you out? Is it a certain tire? Is it a certain nail that they put in the tires? Is that a known thing if people are gonna put a nail in a tire? Why is that so relevant? Nails in tires.
Something that I would have to ask my husband if there's like a specific nail or something that they know will pop a tire easy. You see it on movies.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because right after I got this vehicle, not even 2 weeks, might have been even been a week after I got this newer vehicle, my tire pressure was low, right? So I take it to the tire place and they're like, "Oh, you got a nail in the tire." It was I'm trying to think. It was the back driver's side tire. Okay. So on the driver's side, back left tire. Well, like 3 days later, my tire pressure's low again. They would have, guess what? There's another nail in that same exact tire. Now, wouldn't you think that they would have found that second nail the first time they looked at it?
Yeah. What about you drive past a spot where maybe some construction was done or roofing or something?
I did. Yes, I was. But I mean, it was pretty clean. I mean, it was for a factory that they were, I don't think, these were like, this was a weird type of nail. It didn't have like an end on it. It was like a straight, jagged nail without an end.
Rusty?
Yeah.
And when they get rusty, sometimes the head will come off of them. I don't know.
Okay, so he told me what kind it was. It was one of those nails that are used for railroad tracks.
I know what those are called, but I cannot.
Yeah, I can't think of it. I don't know. I just found it very, very odd. The same tire 2 times in 1 week.
When things like that happen with what we do, though, it's hard not to be paranoid. Like,
It is.
I just have to remind myself, breathe and think logical, because we hear so much crazy. You know, it kind of makes you a little crazy at times.
Okay, Justin Falzon says he had the car, but the tire was still inoperable. Correct. The car was supposedly parked at the Days Inn, but yet the Days Inn guy said that Cappy made the statement. Yeah, railroad spike. There you go. Thanks, Doc. Cappy made the statement that he had no car. So, I mean, was it the lookalike or was it Cappy? I mean, and $73, that looks like 1 day's worth of rates, correct? However, when you pull up Google Earth and you pull up that Days Inn, the rates show up at $139. I'm all confused about that rate on that room.
Maybe had some kind of a discount card or travel card or booked in for Expedia or something. I don't know. But I thought about maybe if he thought that somebody was after him and trying, wanted to kill him or something like that, and he was running scared, maybe he didn't want to give all of his car information to them, but he gave his name though. So
Do we know if that's his stage name or is that his actual?
It's his actual name, because all of his family's Cappy too.
Okay. Just wondering.
And on like Ancestry and stuff like that, because I have a paid account through there, you can see like the census from all the way back from when he was a child. So it's always been his name.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up Twitter real quick just to see if he's posted anything recently. Here, hold on. Let me just get Twitter open up. Oh, I've got it right here. Sorry. Okay, so I found that account. I thought that was kind of odd. Isaac Cappy at Real Isaac Cappy. This account was created June 2012. I like lotion and baskets and sewing and my precious dog Precious. That's the lotion in the basket guy.
Yeah.
And there's not.
Way.
Huh?
I said the name is even spelled the same way.
Mm-hmm. There's not much on here. It's got following 22, 55 followers. I don't know. I found that really odd. maybe that was just a troll account. I don't know, but he hadn't even came out. Now, this is really odd. I showed you this earlier. I searched Isaac Cappy 5/12/2019, and what I was doing is I was trying to find the deleted Instagram video. And if you look here, there's a burners.me website, May 8th, 2019, update 5/12/19, and they do mention Isaac Cappy. So what this could just be like a blog post that they started, but I find it really odd that that was updated 5/12. Cappy wasn't even dead till 5/13. And, you know, they could be on the other side of the world as well. You know, 5/13 could still be 5/12 other places. Who knows?
No, that guy is a friend of Robert's that runs that site. He's like, speaking of Robert, he just went live.
Oh, we did on
Mhm.
Periscope?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So, let's see.
Hi from Australia. Hi, Pachyderm Princess. Hi, Lisa. Hi, HK. Hi, Wright, Tony, Marilyn, Lipstick. Not really. Not really feeling a lot better. Thank you. Hi, Debbie. I'm okay. Thank you for the prayers. Hey, y'all. No, nobody missed me. This is it. That's me talking well. I'm sorry. Normally I talk a lot louder. Exhausted, can't stay long. I'm sorry. I am a little down, I'll tell you. No, I didn't get the info. That's why I'm down. I'm really upset over not having the info yet. I was told I'd have it by now, and then today that changed again to still have patience and wait and hold on. And I'm just really depressed and upset that I don't have it yet. I want it. I want to give it. I'm ready for the information, but it's just not here. So calling out soon. I will be. Look, I'm not going to look like a fool, okay? I have documented everything that
Why does it keep freezing?
It does it to me too when I'm watching him.
all right? So you guys will know that I'm not full of shit. I am not full of shit at all. I have documented everything that I've done. Everything that I've told you has been the truth. You know, I don't know if I got videos that you forwarded to me. If you all would have seen, I don't think they're playing. If you all would see my inbox, you'd understand. I cannot look through my inbox right now. I cannot go through all of those messages. I had over 7,000 new messages today. And I started to go through them, and a lot of them were, hey, check out this video. Hey, check out that video. If I watched every video that everyone sent me, I'd be stuck on videos for the next 7 weeks. Mikey knows but won't tell. He doesn't know what I know, I don't think. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe he does. I don't know, but he didn't tell me anything about it, so. So I'm waiting.
He's not going to state his
I'm
source,
waiting to
guys.
get this information like everybody else, but some people have said on here, I hope they're not playing. Well, if they're playing, they're going to regret it, okay? Because I'm going to burn that ass if they're playing. Because it's somebody everybody knows, or most everybody knows. A really good friend of Cappy's, so, you know, I'm not going to push it out there too much, but I'm just going to say, was the delay explained? Yes, yes. It's a lot of information. It's more than they can go through in just a couple of days, apparently. Okay, so you're going to say the way Fiona and Shell describe Isaac as a housemate is totally consistent. So what? He's not a very clean person. I'm not either. So what? So what? That doesn't make him a narcissist, evil person. He's dead. You gonna sit and talk bad about him on my scope? Because I'll block you too. Jesus. The only update I can give anybody is that I have been told that, yeah, they do have to throw in some truth. Right, yeah, Isaac was not a clean roommate. So what? So what? I take my clothes off and throw them on the fucking floor. Big woof. Okay. See that? That's my clothes laying on the floor. I'm a slob too. Who cares? The rest of my house is clean. I don't like it when people talk bad about Isaac. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Or you can just get off my scope. Really. Just, get out. Yeah, I need to take a break. I'm getting really frustrated over the fact that I don't have this information. And I was told I would have it by today. And I'm not happy that I don't have it by today. So, Lisa said, my hubby is a total slop for 25 years now. My wife doesn't mind. She picks up after me. But, it just is what it is. That's the way he is, too. And it just was what it is. I mean, a lot of people are like that. So what? The rest of my house is spotless. You can eat off the floor. I just really want this information. People have been trashing me about it all day. You promised. Well, I was promised I would have it by now, too. And I do not. So... Can I suggest don't give the heads up until you have the info? No, I'm not giving the heads up anymore. I didn't tell anybody today that the info was here. I haven't told anybody that. I'm just making a video right now. I said it was important just to update everybody. I'm just letting everybody know what's going on currently so that everybody knows exactly what's going on. That's all. That's what I'm here for. I'm here just to let everybody know I'm still waiting. I'm not going to dox the person whose information, who says they have the dead man switch. This is what I'm telling you. I have no reason to doubt the dead man switch opened a box and that box is there and that it's open and that I still don't have it. No, I don't know anything that I can't tell you right now. I don't know anything I can't tell you right now.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I saw what the landlord, Michelle the White Witch, had to say today. She's about disgusting. Her true colors are coming out, how she really feels about Kathy. Michael, I've just been on like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Yeah, God works on his own timeline. The info will come when it is time. Just think of how much info would be there. Yes, that's what I've been told. It's just a lot of information. And can you blame the person for not wanting to give it to me? I mean, Steve Outram, who's, in my opinion, one of the best investigators. I love watching his videos. I love reading his articles. Steve Outram is amazing.
Who's that?
And he personally...
That's the guy who runs the blog.
Walked me in my inbox and he said, what if there's some child porn in there? Do you want to be passing that around to thousands of people? Because you'd go to prison for the rest of your life for that. And he's right. So the information does all have to be looked through. There's no doubt. I mean, it's important to look through it. It needs to be vetted before it gets passed around. That's all there is to it. I don't want to take 20 gigabytes of information and pass it to you, and then you pass it to everybody, and then all of us are all of a sudden, guess what? A child porn ring was exposed on Twitter. And it was all tied into Isaac Cappy. Boy, wouldn't that be a headline? Wouldn't that be a headline? Huge child porn ring busted on Twitter, tied into Isaac Cappy. Whoa! Talk about an easy way to make him look bad. They would love it. Yeah, we do have to be careful. Or we won't be on Twitter anymore. We'll all be in prison. Yeah, check for viruses too, right. So anyway, I'm documenting everything that I'm doing. I'm not being stupid about this. So, you know, if the person who I doubt would lie about it, but I doubt it, but if they really didn't have the dead man switch, I'll out them. I'll out them, and I will blow their doors off. Right, I can't imagine what they're looking through right now. I said 20 gigs. It could be 200 gigs. I don't know. I don't know. But I was supposed to know more than I know today. I know a little bit more than I knew yesterday, but not a lot. I don't know about the bathhouse bid, MJJM. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what that's tied to. You know, I have so many people coming to me telling me that Cappy's not dead. He's here. He's there. That's another Nick's dead. I'm sure his family probably have to look at his body. You know, how he died before somebody ran him over with a truck to hide the fact that he had other injuries, who knows? But I definitely think either he died before he got thrown over the bridge, or was halfway dead when he got thrown over, and was finished off when he got run over. So I don't think he's alive. Everybody who keeps saying that, I think you're wrong. Everybody keeps asking me if I've caught the newest Phoenix Enigma. No. From his first or second video, I don't trust Phoenix Enigma. The whole story with the cardboard over him and 18 people partying on top of the bridge.
You know.
Sorry. My bullshit meter just went beep, 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 beep. So I don't believe anything the Enigma guy has to say. I just don't believe it. Just horseshit. Yeah, we're not following him either. You know, I think he's probably a disinfo agent paid for by them to, again, make the narrative go here, there, and everywhere so that nobody, you know, knows what's going on. This is the one thing I did find out, guys. This is the one thing I did find out. This is the only new news I have that we were correct, which I already knew that. I've dealt with the cabal all my life, so I already knew. The one thing I found out from the dead man switch is that the neighbor and the roommate, Michelle the White Witch and Kayla, were definitely involved. That's the one thing I do know, is they were involved. And I knew that anyway. No one was going to tell me that wasn't the case. But one of the final things he put in this dead man switch was that he thought these two had infiltrated his life. And he wasn't sure of it, but he was almost certain.
That was almost obvious.
Then he said they kept saying stuff to him, like he'd go smoke a joint, you know? And then one of them would walk past and whisper something like, "You're going to die." And he'd say, "What?"
Wow.
And they'd be like, "Oh, nothing." I said, "Your hair looks pretty." That's what they do. They gaslight you. They scare you. They terrify you right to your face. They make you feel uncomfortable. And then you just kind of blow it off. No, they couldn't have really said that. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. My ex did that. Yeah, there's lots of people who know how those do. They were the ones who infiltrated him. I believe in his last video, when he said it was a setup that took a very long time, he was talking about those two and their families, their little kid, Flem, and Kane. Wow, look at that patch of gray. I told somebody today I think my hair is starting to turn gray. That wasn't there the other day, y'all. Oh, I turned my head and I'm looking like an old man. Wow.
Do y'all want
Yeah.
to keep watching this, or do y'all want to take some phone calls? What do you want to do, Katrina?
I mean, it doesn't seem like he has any
Yeah, they're
information.
trying to steer the
Complaining that he
narrative in
still
about
doesn't
8
have
different ways.
He doesn't what?
It seems like he's just complaining that he still doesn't have the information.
Right. Okay. So that's the update. I really wish that he would have stated the big bombshell about what they found out Cappy did, like he said he was going to last night.
Right.
I mean, he did say he was going to say that. He said he was going to say a lot of stuff that he didn't say. And I'm sure he has a reason for everything, but explain yourself, please. I'm not saying anything against him, but just explain why you're not stating what you said you were going to say.
I think it's because he just wants to see the stuff for himself first, which I can understand. I mean,
Right.
like right now he's starting to doubt that they're even going to give him this stuff since they first said 10 p.m., then they said 12 today, and now here we are almost midnight and he still doesn't have it. So I think he's starting to kind of doubt that these friends of Cappy's even have the stuff that they claim to have. But I think he didn't want to say anything until he had the information before his face and could actually vouch it, you know.
Which, I mean, that's a logical reason, but still explain yourself. You know, you said you were going to say this for sure, for definite, or I wouldn't have made such a big deal about his live Periscope last night. And then, you know, we broadcast it, and really nothing was said last night at all. You know, not only was I disappointed, but all of the viewers here were also disappointed as well. You know, so there, and he's new to this too. You know, he's just trying. I do feel like he's a very good guy, just trying to get the information out there. And I would say yes, he's probably been threatened.
Yeah. I mean, he says he has. I mean, Michael Dade says that he has.
Right.
It seems like anyone who starts to speak out about this at all and thinks that something is going on, that it wasn't just a suicide, is being attacked by either, LARPers or whatever. I mean, it's coming from a few different places, actually. Some people that just flat out hated Cappy. So, they're mad that people are even talking about him.
All right, so I'm going to open up. Do you care to open up the phone lines for a little bit?
Nope, it's fine.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to see which one I want to use. Can't find my app. Okay. Text now.
At Bright Eyes, she said, "What did July 4th mean? King is coming, return to the light." Even if he didn't write that IG message, he said in his video, and a few videos actually, that he believed that JFK Jr. was still alive and it was going to be known to everyone soon. And he called him the king and he called him the light. So I think that that's what that was.
Okay. Let me get this set up. I had to do a whole new phone number. So let me set the settings.
Kirk 71, exactly. Everything is just speculation right now. Just going through what's out there, but we don't know what's true and what's not. I mean, the only thing we really have to go on is that last Periscope. That's for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna put the phone number in the chat. And make sure I got it right. Okay, the phone number is area code 859-777-0768.
Yeah, Robert did disagree, saying he didn't think that Cappy was speaking of JFK. He thought that he was speaking of what he calls the White Witch, Michelle's son, who she called Junior. But if you knew Cappy and you knew, that he was a big Q follower and stuff, and the things that he pushed and believed in, one of the things he believed is that JFK Jr. was still alive, and he was possibly going to run with Trump for 2020. So it makes sense that that's who he was talking about.
Right. I don't know. The fact that him and Vegan Mikey were still sending money back and forth, and we can't even validate that. That's just something that Kayla said. She didn't even show that information. She kind of acted like she didn't know who Vegan Mikey was. I call BS on that.
Yeah, she acts like she didn't really know that much, and then she says that Cappy was still sending money to him. So I don't know.
Who knows what comes out of her mouth is correct.
Right.
And I'm wondering, that Dead Man Switch that he posted, it was either last year or 2017, I can't remember, but he did post a Dead Man Switch. I'm wondering if that's the same one, because if that's the same one, it has to be a whole new one, because he didn't even live with them at that time if it was 2017. Did you see the Dead Man Switch when that post was made?
No, by that time I was already like, with Cappy.
No, and there's been a screenshot of it.
I thought it everybody and that video,
the bathhouse video.
The bathhouse video was part of it or something. But then now I'm hearing that it's like 3,000 files of proof that he had that these politicians and celebrities and stuff were involved in SRA and pedophilia and stuff like that. So I don't know what it really is. Some people say that he hinted at it in another Periscope when he was talking about Epstein. That's what it was, that he had a bunch of files and proof of people who went to the island and partied there and purchased girls and stuff, that they think that maybe that's what it is, but I don't know.
I'm just looking on this thing here, making sure the first time I set up this text now thing, it didn't want to work right. So I'm just making sure everything is 859 area code 1 plus 859-777-0768. Preferably, information on Cappy, what what your opinion is. All calls are welcome as far as Cappy goes. So we don't really want to get off topic on that. So, and if we don't get any calls, that's fine too. But just figured I'd put it out there in case anybody does want to call.
And to answer some questions in the comments, Kimber Joel, yes. Let me hold on. Your question just went back. Where was it?
You want me to share? Do you want me to share the chat on the screen?
I have it on the computer. I'm using the phone to talk with you, and then I have it on the computer.
Okay.
Yes, she reached out to him on Twitter to come and live with her. And that's who the White Witch is. That's what they're calling the White Witch, is the landlord, Michelle, who asked Cappy to come and live with her as a place for, to hide out and protection, because supposedly he was already like on the run from people who wanted to kill him at that time.
Mm-hmm. I have a copy of that tweet if you all want to see it. You can find it.
Yeah, I really feel like they threw that forced word in there because they wanted people to believe that he was so adamant and committing suicide that even though those teens tried to stop him, he, forced his way through to do it. I think that's what they were trying to make us believe by saying forced.
Yeah, and with it being in quotes, as far as gematria goes, you got to really watch out for the news outlets and websites posting those articles, especially when they have stuff in quotes. You need to look at all of that. A lot of times when it's in quotes, that means there's something behind it. Just saying, from what I've learned.
And Kirk 71, they're saying that he's been cremated. A private little family service thing was held, and that was it. That's why they're saying don't look for an obituary or anything like that. Obviously, they didn't do, well, I'm not going to say obviously. I don't think they did a toxicology report or any of that kind of stuff because it seems like it happened so quick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not what I want. It is not what I want. Let me try to find it.
I believe Randy Quaid too, about the star.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Mm-hmm. He was, yes. But I don't think his parents were like practicing or Jewish or something. There was information about that was put out before. Like he wasn't really raised Jewish, but he was Jewish.
I don't know why it's not showing now.
Yeah, I thought there would be an obituary too, no matter if he was cremated or not. I mean, last year, July 7th of last year, my stepfather died of cancer, and he was cremated, but we still had a little memorial service for him, and obituaries went out. So it seems almost disrespectful to not let him have one.
Okay. Can you see it now?
I just see the screen with me on it, and okay, there we go.
Okay, so August 31st, 2018 is this one. I'm assuming it's the same day. However, it doesn't say, but she says she's replying to him, Isaac, I might have help for you, but I am not a tweeter. My email is blah, blah, blah. Michelle makes me think they don't really want to know, LOL. Then she puts her phone number text. And this is from Robert's Twitter account. It says, and yes, here's the initial setup last August. Little did Cappy know he would be all alone and in danger when he took this ad. It's just
Some
sad.
people were making comments that doesn't even look anything like the room, and
Well,
then they were arguing about that, and then she ends up posting soon after that, like she's reading what everybody's commenting, obviously, because she makes a post about how he rearranged the room so many times while he was there.
Well, I heard her say that there was more than one room, and he initially stayed in the smaller room, but then ended up moving to the bigger room. So this right here must be the smaller room
Mm-hmm.
because the window even looks different.
Right. And then the other room he stayed in had the bathroom in it and stuff.
Right. So I'm guessing this is the initial room that she was going to have him stay in. And then he ended up going to what used to be her son's room, which was a bigger room. So that's that.
Kirk once said, Kayla said he was divorced from his parents, so why would he be visiting his mom? It's a question I was asking too. If he had a relationship with them, then why was he going to visit? Unless, it wasn't that bad and he knew that he was going to die and he wanted to go see his family first before they got him.
And he's it was after Mother's Day. Maybe he just wanted to make peace with people if he thought something was going to happen to him. Of course, you can't go by anything that girl says.
Right.
He was trying to play dumb. She was trying to play the sweet little innocent friend. I'm sorry, but you don't get on a public platform and talk about your friend and call him a narcissistic, egotistical Hollywood, and then in the same sentence call him a good friend and then say, oh, well, we can't cry over spilt milk. And then also make the statement like I put in my video where I caught her saying, well, I hope he doesn't put me or my neighbor in any danger. Well, if you haven't done anything wrong, how would he be putting you all in danger? She slipped up a bunch in that.
Right. I mean, even if she's talking about because people found out their names and looked up their address and people now know where they live. So maybe people are going to come looking from him there. Like, he's supposedly dead now. So why would they come there after them,
Mm-hmm.
Unless-
No, it was the way that she said it. I hope he doesn't put, either of us in danger. Well, danger is not a typical word to use if you haven't done anything bad or not affiliated with something bad. I'm sorry. That's just my first initial reaction. I could be wrong, but
you're worried about putting you in any kind of danger, then don't do a Periscope to all
right.
people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And the fact that she had 2 prior videos basically saying all the same thing that sounded just like a script. Like she had it memorized what she was going to say at first. I mean, that was just, wow. She didn't cry not once. I'm sorry, if my friend had just died and I seen him every day for almost a year, I probably wouldn't even be able to speak.
I was thinking that too the whole time. Like, even if you're trying to, keep yourself cool because you don't want to, ugly cry on camera or something like that, you're going to see the face twitching, the eyes tearing up, lips trembling a little bit. Like, you can't be that tough. She was just
She was cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah. I mean, she would her nose and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But it was just like worst acting ever.
And why didn't she show the other dog? She showed the one dog, not the other one. Oh, but he hated the dogs, right?
And now Michelle's trying to claim that he hurt the dogs.
Mm-hmm. Along with the holes in the wall. Now, did you pay attention to one of the holes in the wall that he supposedly did? Isaac was a tall man. Wasn't he like 6'2", something like that? Did you notice? Did you notice where the holes were in the wall? It didn't look like he made those holes. I'm just saying. compared to where she was standing. Look at where she showed the holes in the wall. They didn't look big enough to be his or at his height to be his.
Obviously, though, some type of struggle must have taken place there because they both said that the room was destroyed before they came and cleaned it all up to do the Periscope, plus the holes in the wall. And then at one point, Kayla mentions that she saw two girls there, some black guy.
Mm-hmm. And something about a black car. She said it was a black Hyundai, but then someone said something about a black Mercedes.
If you came home and someone's left, the room is destroyed like that, there's holes in the walls, that's just another thing that would make me want to call some authorities. Like it would look suspicious, like there was some kind of crime scene, unless he was, always going around punching holes or something. I mean, that's just weird the way they handled the whole thing. Very sketch.
Well, if Kayla wasn't there, how does she know that the two girls were there if Michelle wasn't there? None of it adds up. First, Kayla says there were people there. Then she said there wasn't people there. Then she said there was people there and that she spoke to the girls. She slipped up and said that she spoke to the girls the next night. But then
And
she first initially said she never spoke to the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Diane and Alicia's who she said.
Right. And the guy she never did name that she said she saw.
Right.
There.
Mm-hmm. Okay, if for some reason the phone rings, I'm going to go get a refill on my coffee. I will call them right back. Okay, so just my phone's on charge is why I can't answer right now. All right, if you want to just hold up on the chat and just talk with them, I'll be right back. Okay, honey?
All right. Let me look at comments. Okay, let's see. Aussie flag. Yeah, we had a lady at our church who went home after morning service and just passed away in her bed. And she wasn't there for night service, and she was pretty faithful to attendance. So went to check on her and found her just passed away in her bed. And so they did an autopsy. Within 3 days, they found out that she had a heart attack, and that's how she died. So she wasn't an actor or actress or anyone special or anything, just a middle-aged lonely woman, but yet she had that stuff done. So one of the holes were painted over. I didn't really pay attention to those holes. I was listening but not listening. I tried to find out how long it would be before a death certificate would be available for purchase, and they said at least 6 months. And that was something new to me too. I didn't know that it took that long. I guess he was allowed to talk because it was not even open case. I couldn't say open and closed because it's not like it was ever even open. It just seems like they just automatically assumed that he committed suicide and left it at that. Before being completely identified, only thing they had linked to him, I guess, was the car, even though it was him.
Or his IDs.
Yeah, but the report that came out by that one creepy sheriff guy, or what do you call him, the press guy for the sheriff's office or something, he didn't say anything about the IDs or anything. He just said that they identified the car to being his, so that's how they knew it was him.
No, they just had to run the plates though, too, right?
Yeah, they did run the plates.
Did the phone ring?
No.
Okay. 859-777-0768.
As far as I know, the police have still yet to be out to the landlord's and neighbor's house.
Well, though, I don't know if they would even say now if they were there.
The way that Michelle complains about everything, though, you would think she would, say something like, oh, great, now I'm having to deal with the police because I tried to help him and spoke out,
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry if somebody actually had that full video of that deleted Instagram, he would have already received that. I think they were blowing smoke up his butt. It doesn't take that long to send a file.
Well,
Unless they just don't know how. I mean, they obviously have it downloaded.
I kind of wondered too, like, if these 3,000 files maybe have some videos or photos that are not something that people will need to see because they're, like, not good stuff. Like, it's
Right, like what he said. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So maybe they're going through and like blocking out things or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it can be released. But, I don't know.
Well, if anything, if they don't want to show it, they can at least explain what's in it without showing it, And then again, you've got so many naysayers out there that, want to say, oh, well, how can we take your word on it? We need to see it. So many people out there that just complain and complain and complain. Heck, I get complaints all the time about the music that I use in my videos. Well, if you don't like it, put it on mute. Usually with my videos, you don't have to even listen. How many times are you going to watch a movie to where there's no music, no background music ever? When something's about to happen, they have music playing in the background that goes along with what you're showing or what they're showing. People just really, really get on my nerves.
Right.
You can't win for losing.
Michelle did say that she was a suspect on her Facebook because I thought I seen her say something like that, but I thought she meant like a suspect from the people, like not the cops, but just, us type of people who are interested in the case and, find her suspect.
Well, I very seriously doubt that the police would let her in on her being a suspect. Hey, you're a suspect. They don't typically let people know they're a suspect, right?
And like Justin said, you can only be a suspect if the case is open. And as far as we all know, it's been closed, and that's why
I would say a new case has been open. From what Robert said, he said that he contacted the FBI and they are opening a case.
But then he started a petition to get everybody to sign so they would open the case. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A whole lot of this does not add up, guys. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to take at face value what the reports say. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do it. Something tells me it's much deeper. And, like we were discussing earlier, what if there really was a Cappy lookalike? And what if they were trying to help him fake his own death? If he was in that deep of crap, maybe they were trying to help him fake his own death.
Yeah.
By having a Cappy lookalike. You've got this homeless guy that's sick, that wants to leave, that's tired, from what the gas station woman said, that you used to go sit on the edge of a bridge all the time, contemplating on jumping. He kind of looks like Cappy. Hey, well, you want to die. This guy wants to be hid. Why don't you go ahead and do it and blah, blah. I'm just saying. I'm just, whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, the first time that when I watched the Periscope and I found out that, he had supposedly committed suicide and was dead and everything, I thought, oh, Cappy, he's messed up his career now with all of this stuff. He's got himself in some trouble, messed around with the wrong people in the truth community, got on the bad side and then didn't realize he was on the bad side, found out that he was, and then was like, okay, I'm done. And that's why I was like, this is going to be my last video, stuff like that. So I figure he really did set up faking his death or something just so he could walk away from all of this and be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
I was first thinking. But then, other stuff came out. Really what changed my mind was his landlord and roommate,
His what?
or Michelle and Kayla. That's what really brought suspicion to me. Like at first I just thought, okay, he's ready to retire from all of this. He's wants to go and start another life and get away from all this because he got himself in some crap, And I was like, okay, whatever. And I didn't really care that much, like I just thought that's what he did. But then when Kayla posted that first Periscope, that's when I was like, okay, wait, something's not right. Too many lies, like too much stuff here. This is weird. And then I started thinking that maybe something bad happened to him, like he was murdered or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, someone in the chat just said, these truther channels have ways and means of getting any type of info, yet not one located the body. With so much technology out there, if per se there were 18 people like that Phoenix guy said that were on top of the bridge, and you're telling me that not one video, not one photo, nothing, not one post. Yeah, I mean, I haven't researched it to that extent to try to find that kind of stuff. But, when you're on Twitter and, you're researching, you're Googling, that stuff usually just kind of lays in your lap. You don't really have to go digging if it was put out there. That's another thing that I find very, very interesting, that you can't find anything. Nothing's popped up. It's all these news articles that say he forced himself off the bridge, blah, blah, blah. Right. Are they trying to censor it that bad to where the stuff won't post? Like those 4 photos that I saved in my computer that somehow for some reason, my computer no longer recognizes a JPG file. That's what I uploaded it as. I just find it really, really odd.
Kirk said, witness protection from what? He didn't really expose anything. If Julian Assange is still alive, we can safely assume Cappy wasn't a big fish. Because it is true that everyone that he mentioned, somebody already else had mentioned before. Like if you've been around in this community for a while and you've been following this stuff like we have, then you've heard all of these people, talked about time and time and time again, that he mentioned. Nothing was really like that new. I think maybe the only one I didn't know about was Seth Green, but everyone else we knew about. But it's just the fact that he was a Hollywood actor, that he had small parts in these big films, and was a voice for the truthers who were trying to get this information out there already.
I found a video earlier of Cappy. It was stated on YouTube. I'm not going to play it, but this is the video that got Cappy killed. I don't know if Robert was the one that posted that. I can't remember. I've looked up so much stuff in the past week or two.
A few people did, but I think Robert did retweet it. It's the one where he's talking about Epstein and some of the political people. And they're like, it's because he changed from celebrities to politics now that this is what got him killed. Because now, but then again, the people that he said in that video, we've all been saying it for years.
No, that's not what I was going to say. In the very first of that video, he stated that he, through the Q board, he contacted NSA and DHS.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to know is if in fact he did, maybe he thought he was and really didn't, but if in fact that he did, that military base that he could have been walking to, okay, because that's the direction that that military base is in. It's an actual security military base. I would like to do more research on exactly what is being done at that military base. Yeah, Camp Navajo.
Yeah. Mm.
Just saying, I mean, there is, if he was going to be in witness protection, most definitely they would send him somewhere else other than the U.S. They would completely change his image if he was going to stay here. I mean, I don't know how all that stuff works. I just know that they completely, you're not allowed to maybe that's why he was going to go see his mom. If he knew that he
had to go away. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to look at all of this in the perspective of, well, if he was doing this, then he would go do this, because once you're in witness protection, you can no longer associate with anyone that you formerly associated with. No one.
Right.
Whatsoever.
And we're trying to
know
go
what
off
the
of everything.
repercussions are if you do, but
Yeah, we're trying to go off of everything that he said in videos that we can watch and look at and be like, okay, try to pick apart and see what it is that he said that was so bad. But we don't know what he was doing, from his room, like, or
Right.
who he was talking to on his computer and what he was all involved in. We have
his last
no idea.
Periscope, he said, they asked him, are you going to leave the country? And he said, well, yeah, that's a possibility. Don't quote me verbatim on those exact words, but he had said, yeah, maybe. So who knows?
And like I told you, no doubt about it that he was involved with some shady people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that, but you've seen the stuff that I've sent you and stuff.
Right.
Those people are like, whoa, kind of, did they kill him? Did he have to go to witness protection to get away from these people? Because he mentions and says that I thought I was working with the good guys and that I was a good guy, and I found out that I was working with bad guys and I was one of them.
And he even defended that person as if they were a good guy when somebody else was blatantly like, no, they're bad. And he was like, well, but, what about this? I'm not going to say any names either, but it's just, trust me, you guys can find it on the web if you look for it.
Right.
Certain things we're talking about. But he did defend those people at first, and maybe that's what he was talking about. But he did say whatever he did was digital. Like in the blink of an eye, like maybe a click, maybe he gambled on something, and then he did say he reversed it very quickly, but that basically what was done was done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, but that part kind of resonated with me too, because when I first got involved in, I was doing podcasts, I was doing like Blog Talk Radio, I was making my own videos on things that research and things that I was finding out. And I came in just like so trusting, so naive, so gullible. I just didn't think about that there would be people who would just hate me for doing what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who messaged me or DM'd or commented, I talked to everybody, and some people wormed their way in, and they seemed so sweet and so nice at first. And then later I found out, no, they were just trying to get anything and all information they could on me and,
right.
Talking behind my back and stuff like that. So I could see how the same thing would have happened to Cappy. Just
Mm-hmm.
You're being trusting. You think everybody's, on the same cause that you're on because they pretend to be.
Right.
And then boom, they're trying to hurt you. So
right.
It could have been something like that.
I think we've all been there and done that. When we first come on the scene, we think, oh, these people are so nice and they're wanting to be my friend. And they usually always have an agenda that involves um, not your best interests per se.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, it's been, let's see, probably about 2014. It was November 2014 when I first started my site, got my organization going up, my license for it, and everything. And I was just on top of the world at that time. Like, I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to, all this, just
Mm-hmm.
thinking that everybody was going to hear this information I was putting out and they were going to be like, oh my goodness, what can we do to help? Let's, change this from happening. And of course, at first it was just Florida, because that's where I'm at, Florida. And I was trying to do these rallies and get people to go to the parks and get Pizzagate information out there and Pedagate stuff out there and human trafficking things. And I was going to get all this support, all this big dream that I had. And instead, I was just hit by trolls and larpers and haters. And, it was just nasty until I just lost, what is the word I'm looking for? Not my passion, because I'm still passionate about it now. Like, I still want to get that information out there and wake people up to it. But the excitement that I once had, you know, did I lose you?
No, I'm sorry, my son came in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. I was listening to you.
I'm just thinking, I think I just got like knocked off my high horse, I guess. Like, my countenance just fell, and I realized that, it doesn't matter what good you're trying to do. Not everyone's going to back you up on it. Like, some people are just evil and they just want to be evil.
Right. The love of money is the root of all evil, most definitely. I'm just looking at the chat. Yes, I keep my circles small as well now. There's not very many people I talk to outside of YouTube.
I like
Inside YouTube.
I watched you for several months before I even reached out to you, because I'm just so untrusting. Like, I wanted, first of all, I make sure that the person believes in Christ, that they're, a follower of Christ and stuff, and not in the new age way of Christ consciousness stuff and everything, but actual salvation through the blood of Jesus.
Right.
First, that's the first thing before I reach out to someone. And then I just look for honesty. I look for someone who is tries to be grounded in the situation, looks at all sides of things, and is honest in the way that they present themselves and put their information out. That's very important to me.
It's important to me as well. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said earlier, we are so similar in our thinking, in our ways of doing things, that it's just kind of scary to me. I'll be honest. There's not every day that you meet somebody that you actually click with. The first time I ever actually did a podcast with someone, I had this like weird feeling in the back of my head, like something's not right. And come to find out that they were an atheist. And, here I am behind the scenes talking to them about God and about Jesus. And not once did they ever tell me that. I had to find through someone else. And that was just very kind of disheartening to me. And I finally realized, well, that's what it was. I just didn't know it. My discernment was telling me, hey, there's something just not right. And you have to listen to that still small voice. And with you, it's like, someone that has, that loves Jesus Christ as you do, because it's the same exact spirit within you.
Right.
And that's why we resonate with each other.
I totally agree. And, I used to just think, well, it doesn't matter. Okay, this person doesn't believe like I believe, whatever. We can still come together for this cause and stuff. But now I know, after everything that I went through, you know, in 2 years of dealing with it, that I can't think like that anymore, because I believe in the spirit world. I believe that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, you know, and so I know that there's darkness out there, and if they're not protected through Christ, then there can be infiltrated, you know, through
Mhm.
that darkness, through
Right.
the devil, you know.
And that can actually, you know, start to attack you if you partake with them. And, you know, the Bible says, do not partake with those.
we're not supposed to accompany them, period. Yes.
Even though Jesus did. A lot of people like to argue, well, Jesus hung out with prostitutes, you know, stuff like that. Well, that's Jesus, okay? We
Right.
are not, as Christians, supposed to partake with them. That's the difference.
Right. We still have that weakness, that vulnerability, and, you know, that Jesus didn't have, being the Son of God.
We were born with sin. He was not.
Exactly.
That's the difference. You know, and he died on the cross. He took all of our sin, our past, present, and future sins. You know, that's what killed him. It wasn't it wasn't all the abuse that he took before he got on the cross. It was all of us and our sins is what killed him.
Right.
He died of heartache. You know. And I don't know about you, but my son's hungry. He wants me to cook him something. So he obviously didn't eat all of his supper. So now he's hungry again. So I'm going to get off here if that's okay with you. And if we have any other, we might come on back on, you know, if we get some more updates, or of course we're going to be following this, and hopefully, you know, some more information comes out, and we'll try to update you guys with that information. Thanks, Katrina, again for coming on with me. I love you, sis.
I love you too. Thanks for having me. Everyone, just pray the truth comes out, and pray for the children, and have a great Memorial Day weekend and Memorial Day tomorrow. Pray for our troops.
Yep. Pray for the troops. Thanks for all of you people that have served or know someone that have served. And, you know, we just have to remember those that have served, because not only the people that died for us, but the people that, you know, have partaked in battle for us. You know, it's for, you know, Memorial Day to remember everyone that's served. So much love and God bless to you all, and have a great weekend.
Bye, guys.